This is SportsCenter.
We got next. Cue the Jam Master Jay, John, and jumpers. Lots of them.
Many of them went in, mostly for the Warriors. Steve Kerr watched them all from the Dubs bench. Golden State went back to their coach. Cavs went back to their black unis. Game 2, NBA Finals. There's Kerr coaching for the first time since April 19th. Game 2 of the first round. Warriors up 8 in the third quarter. It was tight at half, and listen, Steph Curry's put a lot of guys on skates. LeBron is not Rudy Gobert, and yet he dribbles him into a circle. Somewhere, Marcus Haynes and Curly Neal are admiring. Warriors up 10. Curry's not finished. No, he's one of their best players. He gets to do a bunch of stuff. Cavs cut the lead to 6. James tries to take advantage of the mismatch. Richard Jefferson, Curry on the block. Ahead to Kevin Durant. Between Curry and Durant, they did some damage in this one. Good finish right there. We got the foul. We got the and one. Warriors up 9 after the free throw. Next Cavs possession. Kyrie Irving attacks the basket. Kyrie did not shoot it well in this game. 8 of 23 inside. Shaun Livingston on the assist from Curry, who had a triple-double, one of his 11 assists. Again, not looking. Livingston, though, good anticipation. Warriors, an 11-point lead. Oh, look at Steph. I got the goggles on, though. I see you now. Still in the third quarter, and the onslaught continues. They poured it on. Got a little sloppy in the second quarter, but in the second half, they were at their best.
Curry from downtown. Bang!
Steph did not shoot it terrific from outside, but 4 of 11 from 3, and that one was special. 102-88 through 3 quarters. The Warriors, now they got to stomp this thing out, take the 2-0 lead to Cleveland. Durant, contact, and the silly finish. One more time. Ends up on the seat of his pants. Still count it. Kevin Durant, 13 of 22 from the field. Made all 3 of his free throw attempts. He finished game high 33 for the Dubs. There you go. I'll just finish that thing off. How's my range? It's fine, thank you. And Curry. Well, I can shoot farther from that. Got that one to go. In the end, a 19-point win for the home team, which is actually less than they won game 2 with a year ago. 132-113. Mama's happy, everybody's happy. So the Warriors will go to Cleveland leading 2-0 in the series. Then there's this. Curry and Durant, they've combined for 131 points through the first 2 games of this series. That is 53% of the team's points. Better than half, and they got great contributions tonight, especially from Klay Thompson, who played his best finals game in some time. Postgame, Doris Burke with Steph and KD.
All right,
that is not Steph, and you are not Doris.
No, unfortunately, we've taken a step down with me instead of Doris. PJ Carlissimo.
2 steps down.
Yeah, probably. A lot to get to here. First ever triple-double for Steph in the playoffs. LeBron gets his 8th in the finals, ties Magic for most all time. Golden State, their best players right now are better than Cleveland's best players. I thought Kyrie was invisible tonight. LeBron tried. He did the best he could. Another triple-double, but too much Golden State.
He ran out of gas, I thought. LeBron was unbelievable, and it was funny because in the first half, he was relentless attacking the basket. In the second half, he didn't. I'm sure fatigue had a lot to do with it, but they settled for shots. Even Golden State settled for shots a little bit in the second half. Kyrie finally came alive in the fourth quarter, but before that, it wasn't. It was LeBron and Kevin Love. The bench contributed early. They hung in. I mean, it was a very entertaining first half.
It really was.
Golden State's turnovers allowed Cleveland to stay in the game, and Golden State's three-point shooting enabled them to still lead at the half.
50-40-90. They shot 50% from the field, 40 for 3, and 90 at the line.
Team.
Right, exactly.
That's
the
pretty
team
good.
did that. And really, I thought for Kevin Durant, this is why he signed with Golden State. His stat line was unbelievable right across the board. 5 blocks. The 7-footer becoming an impact all over the court.
Yeah, he was amazing. And so many of the plays, so many of the defensive plays, Kevin gets a block, and they immediately get something on the other end. I mean, this is just good defense. Kevin Love's trying to overpower him. K-Love had a great game, but KD makes the play. This is the very continuation of the play. That's unfair. I mean, he's falling down, sitting down, and he's got a little chirping to do on the back end of it. But a lot of their good defense, as always, they're so good in transition. When they make a good defensive play, whether it's a block shot, leads to a defensive rebound or a turnover, they immediately make you pay, so it hurts even worse. You know, some teams make plays and then they don't do anything on the other end. These guys, when they get an advantage, they immediately kill you on the other end. And
of course, a healthy Steph, so entertaining tonight with the long threes, but also when he gets the ball and can handle people one-on-one. LeBron was a bit of a victim tonight in this one. Again, this was third quarter. It's only an 8-point game. And he kind of meanders his way. He's always a threat from three right there. And that little pump fake, of course, Kevin Love doesn't know favors with very little help there. I'm putting him on his butt there if I'm a Cavalier.
No, that's unfair. They left him all by himself. Look at them. Other guys are standing there guarding. Yeah, I know you don't want to give up a three, but come on. That's even for LeBron. That's asking too much. I mean, that's one-on-one in the playground. You can't guard a guy with that good a handle.
And, of course,
going back
last year, it was a little different in Game 6. It was kind of a father-son moment right here by LeBron, but here's how it sounded in Portuguese tonight.
Curry, foge do LeBron. Tira o LeBron para dançar, gira para lá e para cá. O LeBron não acha o Curry, que faz a finta, vem para dentro, na bandeja. Você é ridículo.
What did he say, PJ?
He said he's got him dancing, he's on skates, and look at that. I puntelo.
I like it. Warriors as a team have shot 63% in this series when being guarded by LeBron, 17 for 27. He's guarding very good players.
He's guarding the best players on the floor. That's why he's exhausted. You know, Jeff and Mark and Mike alluded to it.
Yeah.
The second half, they said, look at him. You know, one of the reasons he's settling for shots, no kidding. He was breathing. You could see him. I mean, even superhuman LeBron ran out of gas. He needs more. And other guys did step up.
They did.
Cleveland played significantly better.
No doubt.
The problem was, guess who else showed up?
Yeah.
Klay Thompson had a very, very good game.
Yeah.
So, you know, as you said right in the beginning, too many Warriors are playing well, not as many Cavs.
Yeah, second best point production game for Klay this playoff season. Again, they haven't lost yet. The Miami Dolphins might be nervous because Golden State might go 16-0. I don't know if that counts for all those guys. But again, Kevin Durant, the big decision last summer to go to Golden State. He's with Mark Stein after the game.
KD, we see 30-point games from you all the time, but a 5-block night. Walk us through how that happened.
I was trying to help my teammates out. We started the game a little sluggish. I know I did defensively, and so I just tried to make up for it.
They've been able to hang with you guys for a half. How are you guys getting separation after halftime?
I was just staying poised, staying with our offense. Defensively, we just trying to, you know, push the tempo a little bit and pressure them a little bit. And offensively, when we get rebounds, just get out and go. And they're a phenomenal team, man. It's hard to stop them, but I think we're doing a solid job of just making it tough on them. We can't turn the ball over 20 times again if we want to win next game.
You guys also got Klay going tonight. How much was he beating himself up? Because obviously he was in a funk that he's not used to.
He wasn't beating himself up. You know, he knows he's been playing this game long enough, you know, especially as a shooter, it comes back around. So he just tried to impact the game in other ways, and I thought he was great last game defensively, driving the ball, you know, driving and kicking, and tonight his shot got going. So we're going to just need him to be consistent on the defensive side of the ball, and I think he's done a great job of that all season.
And to have Steve Kerr back on the bench, what was that like tonight?
Man, I'm just so happy for him. Glad he's back healthy, and, you know, it was killing him to not be on the sideline. So more importantly, I'm just happy that he's healthy.
And we bring Michael Wilbon in right away from Roracle. Michael, we just heard from Kevin Durant. I don't care how he got there. I don't care what you think about how he got there. He's there. He's fantastic. What you've witnessed in terms of him being a difference in these first two games?
Well, I mean, that's why he came here. You know, Kevin Durant took a look at the landscape in the NBA, and he could have stayed where he was. And Oklahoma City, as constituted, wasn't going to beat either one of these two teams. And Kevin Durant, you know, knew that. And he came here. He also thought he was going to fit in a way here that was better than even Oklahoma City, where he had been to one finals. He fits better. They embrace him. They use him differently. And he plays with a spirit here that we didn't necessarily see in Oklahoma, even though he was a great player in Oklahoma City. I mean, you know, tonight he impacts the game even a different way. He didn't have all those dunks going down the lane, but he has the block shots. I mean, he was just great. And then in a tag team effort with Steph Curry with a triple-double, and you have to expand that with Klay Thompson, the Warriors are going in a way offensively that Cleveland better figure out how not to give up 102 points through 3 quarters, and 132 points in an NBA Finals game is extraordinary. And let's face it, Kevin Durant is leading that. They seem unable and just, overwhelmed, the Cavaliers do, by what the Warriors are throwing at them offensively.
We're watching video of Steph Curry right now where he dribbled all around and about LeBron James. What was your thought on that play?
Well, Steph Curry, we saw the best of Steph Curry. And also, by that time, LeBron's getting a little tired. I think PJ mentioned that already. He's probably running out of gas. Steph can take advantage of anybody running out of gas offensively when he's got that bounce to his step. When you got Kevin Durant as, I don't even know how you could say primary.
Michael, I'm going to trump you for Steve Kerr, and I apologize. We'll get right back to you. Steve Kerr speaking after the game.
On the sidelines again, that's what makes it so much fun to feel the energy of the finals, and so it's really nice to be back.
Next question, second row. Go ahead.
Art Spander, San Francisco Examiner. Steve, I just wonder, Klay's been struggling a little bit. You know his game. Did you work any plays or anything for him specially tonight?
No. We I think I mentioned pregame. Klay played so well in Game 1 without shooting well, and to me that usually indicates that the ball's going to go in. His defense was tremendous in Game 1. His ball handling, his passing. I thought he played a great game, and I just felt like he was poised to come out and make some shots tonight, and he did. And his defense again was tremendous. I thought Klay, he guards so many people out there, and he has such a responsibility with Kyrie and switching on to LeBron, and I thought he was fantastic.
Janie, all the way in the back.
Steve, Janie McCauley from AP. What was it like to witness up close and personal Steph dribbling around LeBron and going in to the paint and scoring in the third quarter, and also Kevin flicked one up at one point off balance? Pretty special to see those again.
The talent on the floor in this series is just unbelievable. Obviously with Steph and KD and Klay and Draymond, but trying to stop LeBron and Kyrie. Kevin Love was tremendous tonight. It really is a series that's just loaded with high-powered weapons all over the floor. And the game changed quite a bit tonight from Game 1. They made a lot of adjustments. They put us on our heels, and we were able to respond.
Tim on the aisle over here.
Kawakami, Mercury News. Steve, you're especially appreciative that they decided to turn the ball over 13 times in the first half in your return game here.
Welcome back, Coach. Yeah.
Good coaching on that.
Yeah, that's been the focus the last 2 days is, can we repeat the formula? The answer was no. We did not repeat it. Tonight was a game based on talent. We had a lot of guys who played exceptionally well individually, and we played with great energy. But heading to Cleveland, we're going to have to be a lot smarter. We played that same game in Cleveland. There's no way we win.
And you mentioned the adjustments. This really was a chess match kind of game, at least through the first 3 quarters. They go small, you go small. Durant was playing center for some. Yeah. Was that kind of fun for you, though, to just to immerse yourself in that kind of strategic back and forth?
Yeah, it's always fun, when you've got to make a lot of decisions out there. And obviously we're blessed with a very versatile roster, so we have options just like they do. But they really changed a lot from Game 1, and we had to respond to that. And in the midst of that, Draymond was in foul trouble, and so that made it trickier. But again, our guys responded really well.
Second row on your right, Coach.
Yes, Steve, welcome back. Dave Lewis, NBC News Radio. Kevin once again had a big offensive game, but maybe beneath the radar for those that don't really get into as much of the defensive part of it. He had 5 of your 7 blocks. I think the one that would have put him away was the jump hook on Love. He ended up hitting a runner at the other end to finish him off. Talk about Kevin just as a defensive player.
His defense was amazing, and we needed it, especially with Draymond out. It's a small game, and you got shooters everywhere, and you have to be able to protect the rim with LeBron coming downhill, with Love posting up, and Draymond's on the bench. So that's a pretty scary proposition for us. And I thought Kevin's defense was unreal, and was probably the key to the whole game. along with the perimeter defense of Klay and Andre, trying to do their best with Kyrie and LeBron. But KD was he was amazing.
Marcus towards the center.
Marcus Thompson, Barry News Group. Steve,
Where are you, Marcus?
Right in the middle, straight ahead in your line of sight. Right in. Steph didn't look very well in the second quarter. Third quarter, he kind of changed the game.
Yeah.
What is it about when Steph goes off that really gives you guys some separation?
Well, I mean, he just generates so much force to the game. He even when he's not making shots, he's bringing defenders all the way out to the perimeter, which opens up so much. He pushes the ball relentlessly, and obviously got going there in the third after a poor first half. But he changes the game just by being himself and being out there and attacking.
What do you think of the narrative that he doesn't play well in the finals?
Whose narrative is that?
I just made it up.
Oh, okay. Well, write your story and email it to me, and I'll critique it.
Got you.
Steve towards the center, and then Al in the back.
Steve Futterman here from CBS News, straight back next tomorrow. I want to ask you, historically, if you can take a step back, this team is making history every time it wins. It is a remarkable thing that they have done so far. I know you don't care until you win the championship, but can you maybe take a step back and talk about the remarkable achievement this team has done just by getting to this point without losing once?
Well, it's been a great run, but none of that matters unless we can finish, the job with this series. And we know, trust me, we know. It was 2-0 last year and we lost. So we're playing an unbelievably good, competitive team, dominant team. They have, 2-3 losses the whole playoffs. Now we got to go back there. This is where the series changed last year. So we're just trying to think about the next game.
Al, last question, back right.
Al Sarasovic, San Francisco Chronicle. Welcome back, Coach.
Thank you.
LeBron James, amazing night tonight. Can you talk a little bit about his play and what you may be able to do in Cleveland to try to stop him?
Oh, we've got a plan in Cleveland. We're going to shut him down. We got this great plan that for sure is going to just completely stop him. I don't know what you do with him. He's one of the great players of all time. We all know that. I think he's playing better than he's ever played, and you just do your best. You kind of know that he's going to dominate the game, and you try to do. There's certain spots on the floor that we have rules, and you try to give that stuff to the players, but they just got to do their best and see what happens.
Is it really more about limiting his teammates then?
Well, I mean, I was pleased with our three-point defense, and that's important. This team really thrives on making threes, and we held them to 8 for 29, and that was key. But they went smaller. They had shooters all over the floor. They didn't play their two bigs together that often, which opened up the game. And LeBron was so determined to get downhill to the rim right from the beginning. You could see the force that he brought to the game. And when he's like that, not a whole lot you can do. All right,
Thanks,
thank you.
LeBron finishing with 29 points, 14 assists, 11 rebounds, 12 of 18 from the floor. Now defensively, Golden State with success against LBJ, shooting 63% in this series when the primary defender on the shooter is LeBron James, 17 of 27 from the field. Going to get back out to the Bay Area, Michael Wilbon. He's out there right now. Shaun Livingston had 10.
Shaun Livingston, 2-0 series lead. Was there pressure to win one for Steve Kerr? You guys get Steve Kerr back on the bench. When did you know, did it feel any different than all these games that he's been out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I found out before the game, and just the static, that was probably, the word I would use, how I felt. Just to see him back out there, knowing that he loves to be in the trenches with us, and he's feeling better, more importantly. So it was good to have him back today.
So you got a bump out of this as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it gave us the energy, knowing that we had our leader back. It was a comfort zone for us as well.
You guys are up 2-0 in this series with it moving to Cleveland. You were up 2-0 coming off a blowout last year when the series moved to Cleveland. Does it feel any different this time around?
Absolutely. It does, because of the fact that we lost last year, so we have to stay locked in. that's the message to our team right now is we've been here before, and we've been up before. So we know what it feels like to lose the series being up 2-0. So we need to make sure we're staying locked in.
Kevin Durant, one of the few stars on either one of these teams that does not have a championship ring. What is KD like? Is a sense of urgency? Is it him as usual? What is he like to be around now that he's came here to get this ring and you guys are halfway there?
Yeah, he's been great. Just, playing championship caliber basketball on both ends of the floor. I think defensively, for me, he's been more impressive than offensively, and that's crazy to say.
The 5 block shots tonight.
Exactly, and more importantly, I think changing shots at the rim as well. So he's been great, and you can tell he's hungry to win, just like all of us, and staying locked in.
How do you wind up scoring 132 points in the NBA final?
We're potent. When we get out and we're, taking care of the ball, which we didn't do as well tonight, and still scored 132 points, we're potent. We got guys that can score and put it up in numbers. Defensively is the key, though. We get secure the rebound, stay locked in, and push the pace.
All right, Shaun, thanks for stopping by for a second. We'll see you in Cleveland. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Mike.
You wonder if Cleveland will make any big changes going into Game 3 as a head coach. Would you do anything? If this was hockey, you'd change goalies, you'd dress a different guy, you start Shumpert instead of J.R. Smith, because J.R. Smith's been poor so far.
Yeah, but I think they need JR. They need the offense.
But he's not shooting.
I hear you, but Shump gave him a lot of good defense tonight. So, yeah, I can see more minutes for Shump. The guy they got to get going, Booch, is Tristan, because Tristan controls the boards for them, and he's basically been invisible. And I'm not sure you can go small and beat the Warriors. That's almost like trying to beat them at their game.
Because of Durant.
Now, again, when Tristan's playing the way he's playing and they don't have any other bigs to put on the floor, try to play Channing Frye a little bit more tonight. But he struggles when the game gets small. So Lue's caught between a rock and a hard place. I don't think going small is the answer. Somehow they got to get Tristan going. They hit him a couple times on pick and rolls tonight. That was good. Obviously, they got to let him start killing on the glass. He's got to do a lot more. Kyrie didn't shoot it as well. Didn't play as well first 3 quarters.
I think so.
He came alive late, but it was too late. They need those 3. Their big 3 have got to be spectacular, not good. And I really think tonight, Kevin Love and LeBron, where LeBron's on a different planet the way he's playing, but Kevin Love was really good tonight. The other night, Kyrie was pretty good. Kevin Love wasn't good offensively. So all 3 of them got to be elite. And I still don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, especially Kyrie. He needs a 40-point game maybe. And you said Kevin Love really rolling to the hoop. I've never seen him more confident as a Cav. That's what must frustrate Cavalier fans.
The playoffs, the best he's played. It's the most comfortable he's been. They're also going to him. LeBron, right from the beginning, first couple baskets of the game was either LeBron going to the rim or posting up K-Love. And then he gets so confident, he just shoots the ball. He's such a great shooter.
Yeah.
He's playing extremely well.
He looked nothing like this last year, and they won. But really, this is about this historic effort of the Warriors. They're 2 wins away from a perfect postseason, which is unbelievable. And just the passing and how they're synchronized, especially tonight, you were really impressed with some of the decision-making. They played at a fast pace, so you better make good decisions. And they're going to turn the ball over occasionally.
But again, and they were sloppy tonight, but just some of the plays, the ball movement, you watch how many times they pass the ball, but it's not just ball movement, it's man movement too. All right, he's got him right there. They're in a dilemma already. Kevin Love's got to come over and help. What are you going to do? He does. Well, guess what? They have so many people who can pass and catch it. That time it was Draymond. Zaza's the recipient right there. Again, they change sides of the floor. The ball goes from one side to the other. I mean, that's the key that time. Zaza buried the defender with a screen. Like, it looks like, well, what? All Steph did was, well, it wasn't an accident. They swung the ball, and as the ball was going from one side to the other, Zaza was tracing the ball. As soon as you caught, he buried the guy, and it looks like, oh, Steph shoots an open 3. It was good offense. They execute really, really well. It always looks good when the end of the shot is these great players making shots, but their offensive execution, everybody forgets, #1 field goal percentage offense, #1 3-point offense. I mean, they're very, very good.
Again, these guys aren't, Indiana, Toronto, or Boston. Obviously, they're a cut above, and especially defensively, and what they can do defensively. Why are they such a difficult team to play against from the defensive end when you're on offense?
Well, again, they stretch you out. They do so many things to you that it's almost, look at this play. Steph makes a great defense. Andre Iguodala had that ball a split second, and they go. Kevin, of course, finishes on the other end. They wanted to get him. Look at that look right there. They're all unselfish. That's their 2 best players.
Yeah.
They're unselfish. They're getting the assist. So when you got guys who can put the ball on the floor and they're very, very willing passers. They just stretch it out too much. We're talking about what does Cleveland need? We're saying like this guy to step up, that guy to step up. They're all stepping up for Golden State.
Yeah.
So you can't help. You can't help off Klay. You can't help off Steph. You can't help off KD. Andre Iguodala comes in and knocks down shots. Draymond Green, we're not even talking about him. He's a facilitator. He was basically out of the game for a big chunk tonight. Too many players playing too well, and their concepts are so good. That's the thing they don't get credit for. They're so good defensively. I mean, they lead in block shots. You saw that tonight. They lead in steals. They lead in opponent turnovers. That's why they're, you know, #1 fast break points. They're unbelievable.
All right. Head coach Tyronn Lue, what can he do differently in Game 3 in Cleveland? Here are some questions.
Coach, when Draymond Green got in foul trouble in the third quarter, you went to Channing Frye. They then went with KD at center. Do you think that was a key portion of the game, and how do you think it went from that point forward?
No, it wasn't the key. I mean, we got Channing right out. I mean, because he had a bad matchup. So they did it last year also. So whenever we put Channing on the floor, they went small and went to the death lineup. So when we saw that, we had to get Channing out. We had to make an adjustment ourselves.
Dave over here on the left.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. Even though this is the third time you're playing the Warriors in the finals, it's the first time with Durant. And just, can you describe how different of a matchup it is? And are you still even learning this matchup, considering it's only the fourth game you played against them with Durant?
Was different, you know, and they give him a lot of space and a lot of room to operate. You know, you have Klay and Steph on the backside, and he has the ball in his hands. And the way Draymond's been shooting the basketball. So he plays well off those guys, and they play well off of him also. You know, a lot of things you can't do defensively, you know, by having KD on the floor. So they make it tough, and they put you in some tough situations. But, you know, we got to be better as far as not relaxing, not falling asleep, the loose balls, 50-50 balls. We got to get to those. And when you don't get to them, they make you pay. You know, every mistake you make, defensively, they make you pay. And you saw that tonight.
Robert?
Robert Littell, Black Sports Online. Can you talk a little bit about Tristan Thompson? He, last two finals, dominated a lot on the offensive glass, only has 8 boards in the first 2 games. Is it something that you're seeing that's different with this finals, and how you think you can get him going?
No, they're doing a good job of, you know, trying to keep him off the glass. And at times we're down, and, you know, they are playing well defensively, so we decided to go smaller and kind of open the floor up and space the floor, which was good for us for about 3 quarters or, you know, 2 quarters and a half. So nothing Tristan's done. It's just, you know, basically just trying to get more scoring on the floor, more shooting, because they try to load up and help so much.
Second row on your right, Coach.
Yes, Coach. Dave Lewis, NBC News Radio. Statistically, obviously, it doesn't look great moving forward, but you've done it before, you know, coming back last year. Does that give you some encouragement to know that it is possible despite what it looks like statistically for you?
Well, they play well at home, and they won their first 2 games like they're supposed to. You know, come into a tough environment. We knew it was going to be tough, but they won their first 2 games. You know, we get a chance to go home now to our home crowd, where we play well also. So they won 2 games. Now we got to go home and regroup.
Any other questions for Coach? Dave again or here? Go ahead.
Ty, what have you made of Kyrie's first 2 games of the series?
What do you mean?
He seemed to be building through the Eastern Conference Finals, playing some of his best ball of the season, and his numbers haven't looked the same. I just wanted to know how you feel like he's playing in the series so far.
Well, I mean, you know, defensively now he has to do a lot more, and running around with Steph, Klay, and chasing Steph, and constantly having to be on alert. You know, it takes a lot out of you offensively. But I think he's doing a good job trying to play with pace, pushing the basketball, and, you know, scoring the basketball for Kyrie is not a big deal. So he'll get on track as far as scoring the basketball.
Last question, next row back.
Coach, Davide Chinellato, Gazzetta Italy. If you would point a single aspect of your game you need to improve to win Game 3, what would be?
Defensively, I think, you know, having awareness, can't relax, can't fall asleep. You know, this team, you know, their offense is constant movement, so you got to be locked in. You can't take a peek somewhere and lose your man, so they make you pay. And they have a lot of guys who can shoot the basketball, have a lot of guys who are great passers, so you got to be alert at all times.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Well, LeBron James and Steph Curry, just the second pair of opposing players in NBA postseason history, not just finals, to record triple-doubles in the same game Back in 1970, Eastern Conference Final Game 2, Lou Alcindor had an average game, 38, 23, 11. And Walt Frazier had one of those Draymond Green, Rajon Rondo triple-doubles, 10, 12, and 14. Knicks went on to win that series in 5, of course, and then went on to play the Lakers in the final and won that game in 7 after the Lakers swept the Hawks in the other conference final. Let's go back out to Oakland. Game 2 is in the books. Read 'em and weep.
Yeah, John, that's pretty much the situation for the Cavaliers when they look at this box score. It's read it and weep. Second year in a row, the Warriors are up 2 games to none on the Cavaliers. And this feels like an even bigger deficit the way Golden State has played so far. Their fans celebrating once again. Steve Kerr was back after missing 11 games, and Steph Curry was doing Steph Curry things. Spectacular. His first career playoff triple-double. Welcome back into Oracle Arena. Stan Verrett here along with Tim Legler. So they get their coach back, and they get their shooting guard back, too, because Klay Thompson helped them set the tone early as well.
I loved how active he was at the start of the game and how aggressive he was. And, you know, sometimes also it's a little bit fortuitous. He gets that three-point play when Kevin Love early in the game.
Right.
That goes the other way. You know, sometimes that changes your night. Instead, he's got a three-point play, and he's off and running. And this is a guy that has really struggled offensively. He just hasn't been able to find his rhythm in the postseason. Had only two 20-point games in 13 playoff games coming into the night. And I just thought it was nice to get out, open floor. You get this first open three, miss it, and again, fortuitous. The ball comes right back to him, so he's a chance to shoot twice on the same possession. Shooters love that. Knocks down the mid-range, and then here it is. I'm talking about nice, aggressive move going to the hole. If that goes the other way, maybe Klay Thompson's first quarter looks a little bit different instead of the three-point play. And then here, once again, relocating. Great job by Ian Clark getting into the lane, finding Klay on the trail. So it was nice for them, I know, for Steve Kerr, Durant, Curry, to see Klay Thompson have that kind of an efficient night, 22 points. Haven't seen that really out of Klay. Defense is always there, but now they actually got that third option and that third weapon going offensively, which really makes them impossible to defend.
Yeah, 87 points between Thompson, Curry, and Durant. I mean, there's just no way to answer all that firepower. LeBron James also with a triple-double in this game. The NBA announced a few minutes ago that he was not going to be speaking at the podium, but he did speak in the locker room. We're going to take you there to hear his comments in just a minute. But Kevin Durant, I mean, he 33 points after the 38 in game 1, and you add it all up, there's just not enough defensive ability for Cleveland to cover everybody doing everything.
Your margin for error is so small against this team. And Tyronn Lue talked about the amount of concentration you have to have, 90%, 95%. That's not good enough, Stan. Right. It's got to be 100% concentration and effort on every possession. I mean, they only turned the ball over 9 times themselves, Cleveland. They had 60 points in the paint. If you told me that before the game, right, I'd say, okay, they're going to be right there. They lost by 20.
Right. I mean, and Golden State turned it over 20 times.
Think about that. If they valued the basketball tonight, they might have dropped to 150 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So it's just too much for any team to deal with defensively because they have so many answers. And even when you play well, it ends up in the hands of a 6'11" guy that can shoot over the top off the dribble.
Right. 22-point win in game 1, 19-point win in game 2. LeBron James and company heading back to Cleveland, hoping they can do what they did last year, and that's climb back into this series on their home court. Let's listen in to James's post-game comments from the locker room.
Had a couple turnovers. We had a couple miscues defensively, and they made us pay for it.
LeBron, you came into tonight wanting to play better. With the result being what it is, do you now have to play differently? Do the Cavs have to change what you do?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to kind of get into what we need to do better right now. The game is too fresh, but so we're gonna go home and watch the film, see ways we can be better, do things. I don't want to say differently because you work so hard to this point to get to this point, but maybe make a couple changes to see if we can be a lot better defensively and offensively. So for the most part, with the game plan that we had, we tried to execute it as close as possible. We was much more physical today than we was in game 1, and we forced them to 20 turnovers, and they still. Beat us pretty good, so we got to be much better too.
Is there anything that you saw out there tonight that makes you feel, I don't know if good's the right word right now, but just makes you feel like you see a path?
I always feel good. Why not?
You let yourself think back to last year and the fact that the game 2 loss last year was worse and you guys still connected?
Nah, I'm not a past guy too much. I'm more of a present guy, so we just got to figure out how we can be better in game 3.
Is it hard not to get demoralized, though, when you play so much better than you played in game one, and aside from the three-point shooting, you played really well as a team?
No, we did. We did.
And you still lost back.
Well, I mean, we got a little out of control towards the end, so, we're not worried about that. But, we made runs. We cut it to 4 at one point, and they went on a quick 9-0 run or 12-0 run. What they do. That's what Golden State do. If you make a mistake, like I said, we had a turnover. It came from me, and then we had a miscue, and, the flood's open again.
You guys, I think, had 10 steals in the first half after not having any steals in game one. Was that a schematic thing that opened those opportunities up for you, or
No, I just thought we was more physical at the point of attack. Not as much freedom of movement at the point of attack. So allowed us to get our hand. We was more active too with our hands. We tend to kind of pride ourselves on deflections, and we didn't do that in game one. I think we did a better job in that game too.
You obviously know the Warriors well, having played them the last 3 years in the championship round. Do you feel like you guys have a sense for the Durant Warriors, like all the wrinkles?
They're a different team. They're a different team. You guys asked me what was the difference, and I told you, so they're a different team.
LeBron, you just feel it's a case where you guys just need to defend home court at this point?
Are you a smart guy?
I think so. Sure.
I think so, right? So if we don't defend home court, what happens?
But yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm asking you.
Well, yeah, you guys are looking at getting swept.
All right. So that answers your question.
LeBron, did you get any? Are you going to need? Did you get any, or will you need any IVs?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Just need some food and some wine. I'll be all right.
Hey, LeBron. Usually you're a podium guy. I mean, in the finals especially. I mean, is just coming doing this in the locker room any reason for that?
Yeah, there's a reason.
You want to share?
No.
When Kyrie's having a rough night,
It has nothing to do with wins or losses, though.
when Kyrie's having a rough night, was there anything you can tell him to encourage him?
Of course. Yeah. And I just told him, just continue to be patient. Game will come to you, and just keep asserting yourself. And we got to figure out a way to get him going early. He's been such a big piece of our success the last 3 years, obviously. So, we could do a better job of trying to get him going early. And he missed some chippies, some ones that he's so accustomed to making, but, we'll do a better job of that in game 3 as well.
How can going home alter your outlook, your optimism, as you look forward to game 3?
For me, I feel much better on the road. So, you go home, people tend to get more comfortable. You're in your own bed and in your own facilities and things of that nature. So, and for me, it doesn't change. I'm the same way on the road or at home. I still have this bunker mentality when it comes to playing ball. So, we look forward to it. Our fans are looking forward to it. We know that. So, we got to give them something to cheer for.
LeBron, does it mean anything to you under the circumstances that you tied Magic Johnson's record for finals triple-doubles?
I think it will. Right now it means nothing, but it will. It will mean something. He's one of the greatest to play this game. Right now, individuality for me means absolutely nothing when it comes to this team sport. But when I'm done, I'll probably look back on it and say it was a cool feat. Thank you.
2 more.
Brown, are they trying to take Christian away? What can you do to get him done?
Yeah, they've been out there talking a lot about just trying to keep a body on him, a couple bodies on him. But, he's a big piece to our success, and they know that. So they've neutralized that in the first 2 games.
One last question.
Over the next 48 hours, what is your process going to be like as far as trying to find a way to, make adjustments and sort of figure out a way to beat that team? How do you go about that process?
What do you mean?
Last year you're kind of in this position too, and you sort of figure out a way to solve it.
That's a Coach Lue question. It's not my question. Sorry, I can't answer that.
Is that what?
That's a Coach Lue question. You asked me what our practice is going to be like. I don't put the game plan together. I'm sorry.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, so while LeBron James goes and gets a late dinner, perhaps some Cabernet Sauvignon, we'll tell you about the hole that they're in after 2 games. The Warriors, the point differential, so far plus 41 in this series, and you see where that ranks all time. 2016 Warriors, though, of course, had the 48-point differential, and of course Cleveland came back to win that series. But I'm not really sure if they have an answer for this team plus Kevin Durant. Draymond Green and Kevin Durant at the podium right now. LeBron didn't want to hang out there, but they do.
Well, that was a good play by Steph, just driving to the rim, just trying to be aggressive. We love when he's aggressive. And tonight, he shot 14 free throws, so that's huge for us. And we needed that, especially when we were struggling a bit. Turning the ball over and not getting shots up, he was great. And, he controlled the game from the point guard position. really, really well tonight. And as far as Klay, I mean, no matter if he's making them or not, he's still drawing a lot of attention because he can shoot so well. But I think, his driving to the rim, his defense got him going and, knocking down his three. So, he drove to the rim a few times. He had, 7 rebounds. Never seen it.
Never seen it.
But all in all, he just played with confidence and just tried to follow the game plan on the defensive end, and it was good for us.
Shaun, standing on the right.
Sean Devaney with the Sporting News. They said coming into this game they were going to look to pick up the pace. I wonder, over 48 minutes, are you guys pretty comfortable with that? Think that kind of plays in your hands?
Yeah, I mean they came out and threw a nice blow to start the game, getting to the paint, and I think that's one thing we got to cover. I mean, we can't give up 23 points off our turnovers. That's especially a championship team like that. They're going to thrive off of it. So. They were going downhill, getting into the paint, but I just think we just stayed poised and, try to play better one-on-one defense and, make them shoot over a contest. And they're going to make some, but if we just try to make it tough on them, it'll be in our favor.
Right here in the front row.
Anthony Slaterberry, News Group. Draymond, how big a luxury is it when you get in foul trouble and you guys still want to go small to have Kevin that can, basically play center? And then Kevin, in those moments, did you feel you had to step up defensively?
I mean, it's great. I don't think there's many teams in the league who their backup is better than their starter, So I think that's a luxury that we have, and with KD here. And, when I went out with foul trouble, obviously to say pick up the slack is kind of a ridiculous term because he's, a great player and MVP, one of the best players in the world. So, just the way he played on the defensive end, the way he played on the offensive end, he's been, been doing it all playoff long. But, in these finals, he's really picked it up, and it's been huge for us. So with me going out, it wasn't like we were going to skip a beat, with him right there taking over my minutes.
Front row on your right, guys.
I'd like to ask both of you, I know you have not won the championship yet. You're still 2 games away, and it's a long ways for those 2 games. At the same time, this streak is quite remarkable. It's something that's never been done before. Is there a common thread in these 14 games that has allowed this team to remain undefeated so far? And if you can take a step back, are you impressed with this?
I'm not going to take a step back.
Okay. But can you talk about, is there a common thread that can describe why this team is playing so well in these 14 games?
Like I said, I mean, we're worried about this series right now. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, we're just trying to just stay in the moment. But for the most part, we just try to play hard and try to play smart every possession down. Can we do that? We could play hard every possession, but can we play smart? That's the question sometimes. And so we're just trying to stay with it. We know this is far from over. We know how hard it is to, be the best team in the league. So. We got to just keep going, man, keep our foot on the gas and keep getting better every day.
Kevin, I just want to ask you about your defensive night. I think 5 blocks, 3 steals. Just what you see, and was it because you were playing, small ball center that kind of presented those opportunities?
Yeah, when Draymond went out, I just tried to do my best to help everybody out. He's so good at just sniffing out plays before they happen. Excuse me, and so I just try to follow his lead with that. I learned so much from him throughout the season. But sorry, I'm just trying to play hard, man. I keep saying that. Just play hard every possession. I'm gonna make mistakes, but not get discouraged because guys make shots over me, or I gave up an and one the first play of the game. So I just try to just keep my head up and think about the next play and just play hard for my teammates.
Jay on the left.
Jay down to ESPN. Draymond, what have you seen from Kevin and Steph in these first 2 games?
I see 2 guys who. Steph, I've been around for 5 years. Kay, who I've been a teammate now with for a year, but played against for 5 years. I'm more locked in than I've ever seen either one of them in my life. Whether it was playing against him, other than when he put 52 up on my head.
54.
My fault. Shortchanger. Other than that, when you got somebody doing you like that, it's just like a burning fire in their eye, and you don't stand a chance. But that's like the look that I see in him, throughout this finals. And both of them, to me, it seemed like it's personal for both of them. And you're talking to the greatest players that we got in this world.
locked in the way they are, that's why we're up 2-0. And, they're, two of our leaders, that we follow. And with them playing like that, everybody has to be locked in when you got those two guys locked in like that. And so, they continue to do that, which I have no doubt in my mind they will. We'll continue to follow their lead.
Last two questions on the right and over here in the third row.
Yes, Draymond. Dave Lewis, NBC News Radio. You're passionate when you're in the game or not in the game. And I thought the best reaction you had tonight was when Kevin had a block of Love late in the game. He went down, had a runner at the other end.
And one,
yeah. And you were into it. And I thought that single play probably finished them off. Could you talk about what one play can do in terms of lighting up the crowd and lighting up your fans and your team?
When you make a play like that, number one, where they think they got a mismatch and they're trying to, go at K in the post. He blocked the shot, get the rebound, start talking. That's the big part for me. He blocked the shot and started talking. So that's what got me hyped. And, then he pushed the ball up the floor. And you can see right there in him, he's not passing that ball. He's going to get a bucket. And to go, he took some contact and still finished the play. Those are the plays that, kind of put you over the top, the plays that, just bring life into a team. And, that's the luxury that you have with K, where he get a block, he get the rebound, he don't have to get a ball to nobody, he can go get a bucket. That was a huge play for us, and like you said, I think that's where we kind of closed the game out with that play right there.
Robert, last question.
Robert Littell, Black Sports Online. Kevin, LeBron was really kind of dominating the game for 3 quarters. Then you actually took a lot of the responsibility of guarding him in the fourth, and he only had 2 points after that, while he was also guarding you, and you were putting those buckets in to kind of put the dagger. Can you speak about the fourth quarter, kind of going back and forth with LeBron? And Draymond, if I do believe I'm doing that sequence you just spoke about, you did flex for that. And do you transfer your flexing powers over to Kevin Durant when there's good sequences like that?
First off, Andre Iguodala was guarding him for the most part in the second half, and Draymond was out, so I had to play 4 and guard a big. So Andre did a solid job of just trying to make it tough on him. And we just tried to help him out as well. And offensively, I just try to play within the offense and move and be aggressive when the ball is in my hands. And so there you go with that part.
That was a man play. I don't really know if I could put this power in these arms.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you, guys. Steph Curry should be in next.
Kevin Durant certainly flexed on the score sheet and in other areas. You know about the points, but he's leading the Warriors in rebounding. The Warriors are shooting 61% off his passes. He leads all players in combined blocks and steals, and the Cavaliers shooting 37% when guarded by Durant. And Tim, I think that's pretty much as complete a basketball performance as you can give a team in 2 games.
The thing about Kevin Durant that I love is he's starting to get credit for his defense, which I have always felt has been there. I think he's been an underrated defender his entire career. The difference is he's now surrounded by other great defenders and a great defensive mindset as a team. So what he does is more impactful in a winning environment. When he was doing these things in Oklahoma City, it was overlooked by the fact that he was putting up big scoring numbers, and so was one of his teammates, and they didn't have the playoff success that they have on this team. So when I see his length, his ability to play passing lanes, he switches on to guards, he can guard bigger guys in the post, 5 block shots, the activity. I'm glad to see him starting to get that kind of credit because he's on a team that opens your eyes defensively at times. But, he's always going to be known more for this stuff right here. And I remember when he made that shot tonight, I turned to someone next to me, I said, you know how hard that was? He's going full speed. He's 6'11". He stopped on a dime, and he broad jumped backwards into a 3 with a 6'8" guy in his face.
Absolutely.
And made it look so easy. This is what we love about Kevin Durant. He's an effortless offensive player that glides around the court. And LeBron said this is a different team. Yeah. That's what he's talking about, their ability to have a guy just go trump great defense, where physicality can't be enough like it was last year against this same team.
Right. So many times the defender was right on him. He just went over him and just shot right over him and then used that length on the defensive end, too. It's quite a task. Great luxury to have Kevin Durant now. If you're Steve Kerr, he was back for the first time since April 19th on the sideline. We're going to hear from him. But here's Steph Curry at the podium right now.
That's something that I can control, just being smarter with the ball. Obviously did a lot of other great things and tried to impact the game across the board, other than just scoring and total team effort tonight with how we played and withstood their first punch coming out of the first quarter. So A lot of positives. That's one thing I need to correct going into Game 3. Give ourselves more possessions, and good things will happen.
Jermaine, all the way in the back.
Jermaine Franklin with TSN. Steph, there was a rare moment / opportunity in the third quarter where LeBron was guarding you one-on-one. Do you relish those moments?
This is basketball, man. I mean, every possession you have an opportunity to impact the game. Doesn't matter who really is across from you. You don't get into the one-on-one matchups, especially on this stage, because you get distracted from how you're supposed to be playing. And obviously, he's a great defender. So if you have opportunities, you have to do something, pretty special to score. But for the most part, you can't focus on like you're in a playground. It's just y'all two out there. That doesn't do you any good in those situations.
You had a pretty solid reaction following that lay-in, though.
Oh, yeah, it's a big moment. It's a momentum swing. And Coach got on me at halftime about my body language and just trying to play with passion, play with joy. The turnovers kind of got underneath my skin a little bit, and I was, letting it affect, how it's kind of my mannerisms too much. And in that moment, big momentum swing, us, trying to separate us, from, or, continue to get a lead. And going into a timeout, you want to, have some fun and enjoy that moment.
Janie up front.
Steph, Janie McCauley from AP. Along those lines of that sequence, what did you see? I mean, you dribbled down, you came back up, you dribbled, kind of circles around him and then went left to score that. I mean, how do you decide on a sequence like that?
Honestly, I was rushing to begin with because I felt like there's an angle here, an angle there, and there wasn't because a huge crowd around on that right side of the floor. And then I was able to kind of reset back behind the three-point line. You kind of just, give a little hesitation, make him think you're going to shoot and just try to go around him. And at that point, I was a little bit more composed than earlier in that possession. I was just kind of like a chicken with my head cut off, just, running circles. So that was kind of a microcosm of the game. We were rushing a lot in those situations, trying to keep it simple and just, make a play.
And how much how much fun was it to see what Klay was able to do tonight to kind of get back on a roll offensively?
It's always great to see. We're never worried about him and his shooting or anything in the spotlight that's on that. He does so much for us on the defensive end. His presence just on the floor as a threat to shoot, even if he doesn't, get an attempt up. But definitely when he's making shots, and there were a lot of timely shots tonight, were huge. And I know he didn't lose confidence in himself at all, and knew he was helping us win even though he wasn't shooting the ball well. And tonight things turned around in his favor, and hopefully he's created a little bit of momentum for himself going into Game 3.
Jay on the left.
Jay Adonde, ESPN. Steph, when did you learn about Steve Kerr that he'd be coaching tonight, and what did his return mean to the team?
I found out when y'all found out. I think I just got into the arena and kind of heard he was doing his press conference and giving the update. So the interesting thing is he's been around a good amount the last 2 weeks, even the last 3 or 4 games. Even in the San Antonio series, he was a part of the pregame routine and video prep and just, giving us some pointers here and there. And obviously at halftime, showing his face and giving us what he had. So the whole pregame process was all the same tonight. It was just a matter of him showing up on the bench and giving us, that energy. And it's always great to see. It was a great moment for him and for the crowd and everybody, showing their appreciation for, all he's been through. And to see him back on the bench was huge. And, for him, like I said, the whole priority was his health. And I think he's in a good place right now.
Anthony here in the front.
Yeah, Anthony Slater, Barry News Group. Steph, Draymond was in here earlier and said he thought you were the most locked in you've ever been in your career. I mean, do you feel that?
Yeah, I'm playing with a lot of energy. That's the biggest thing. Trying to be aggressive every opportunity I have. I think there's another level to get to. Talked about with the first question tonight about, just being smart with the ball. So there is another level to get to, but just trying to be aggressive and enjoy this moment, man. There's playing in the finals, and the journey is unbelievable, and we want to keep it going.
Chris, over here on the left.
Steph, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. You mentioned your turnovers in the first half. What did you see different from Cleveland's defense in the first half compared to Game 1, and what changed for you in the third quarter?
I mean, they just play with energy and physicality and aggressiveness, and you had to expect that. This is, like I said, this is the finals, and every game is important. Doesn't matter really what happened in Game 1. You knew they were going to come out with a big punch. And we withstood that pretty well, and especially in that first 6 to 8 minutes of the first quarter. Their defense, they changed their lineups a little bit, and they went a lot smaller, so they're a little faster around the court and whatnot. My turnovers were mostly just dumb ones for me, just throwing the ball, jumping to pass or to make a play, not knowing what I'm doing with the ball and just slinging it somewhere. Stuff that I can easily correct. There were a couple they made some athletic plays to get it, but for the most part, those are things that I need to just watch the film and figure out how to be, just slow down and make the simple play. But they're gonna keep coming, man. There's a lot of work for us left to do, and you got to expect them to play obviously better at home, and we're gonna need to play better to win on the road.
We got last three back in this corner here, and there.
Steph, Shai Goldenberg, Hoops Israel. So last year was the same situation regarding the score. Obviously, these teams are different this year. What difference do you see in the Cavs team of this year, and what do you guys need to do in order to win Game 3 at the Q?
I mean, you can compare to 2 years ago and last year. Every team, both teams are different, and I think we all are, us especially, relying on our experience. Knowing what a road game in the finals in Cleveland is like. The atmosphere is their crowd gets crazy, and we have to do the little things to withstand their runs that they're gonna make, because they're a very talented team. They have two top class players in this league. You got to expect them to shoot better, just naturally being at home. So we have to do the little things, not turn the ball over, and continue to keep them off the offensive glass. Do our best job keeping them off the free throw line, and try to take away the three-point line as best we can, because those are those momentum swings like we have here, where you let them, toe it up on the line and knock them down. That can change momentum really quickly. So we understand that aspect of playing on the road in Cleveland.
Michael, far right, and then in the back right.
Over here, Steph, Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. The pace of this game, the level of quality, the skill between both teams, how close do you think you guys are, the Warriors, to playing at your peak level so far in these two games?
I think we've done a lot of things well, but we haven't put together every category. It hasn't been great at the same time. Game 1, we didn't turn the ball over, but we didn't particularly shoot, as well as we could. Tonight, we shot much better, obviously 51%, but had 20 turnovers, so there's a give and take there. We want to try to do both at the same time. But I think the biggest thing for us is our defense has been amazing. Playing with a lot of energy, playing smart, trying to make them work for everything that they get. They're still going to make tough shots. They're still going to have, some special plays and make runs and, be a competitive team, because they're a great team. So you got to just stick with the program. But there is another level that we can get to, like I said, and hopefully we're going to need it in Cleveland to get a win.
Last question, back right, standing.
Yes, good night. My name is Pablo Leiva from Costa Rica, Mr. Curry. If you have to describe the attitude of the team in the last two games in 3 words, what will be the 3 words you describe the team attitude?
3 words? You already hit your word limit on your story?
I was just looking for the values, for the teamwork. I mean, how you describe the team?
We just play smart, aggressive, and with joy. I mean, that's 4 words. I try.
Thank you, Steph. Kevin Love will be next.
Well, we don't see it much when we get LeBron James on Steph Curry, but one of the signature moments of this game, the play you heard Curry talking about it, where he dribbled around, went inside, came back outside against LeBron James, wound up with a layup, 3 for 3 against James. so far in these finals, 1 for 7 last year when LeBron James was on him. And so far, Curry and the Warriors, once again with a commanding 2-game-to-none lead in this series. It's 14 in a row now for the Warriors in the postseason. That has never been done before. You go back to the regular season, they've won 29 of the last 30, and these last 2 wins have them 2 wins from a second NBA title in 3 years. More coverage from the finals coming up.
Finals Postgame is brought to you by Dunkirk from Warner Brothers Pictures, written and directed by Christopher Nolan. Dunkirk, in theaters July 21st.
Dear Journal, today I learned many great things. 1. Old Spice Sweat Defense gives me 48-hour sweat protection. 2. Gorillas have strong muscles and do not speak English.
Look closely. Hidden in every swing, every chip, and every putt is data that can make the difference between winning and losing. The Microsoft Cloud helps the PGA Tour turn countless points of data into insights that transform their business and will enhance the game for players and fans.
The Microsoft Cloud turns information into insight.
For centuries, the gunslingers were knights, sworn to protect us from the coming of the dark. Now I'm the only one left. The man in black wants to rule our worlds, so hell can be unleashed. You can't stop what's coming. I will kill him. The Dark Tower.
You were in very bad shape. I'm surprised you're even sitting up.
I'm stronger than most.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car, or you can build a Cadillac.
Dentech knows teeth grinding can feel like 250 pounds of pressure. Stop the painful grind with Dentech Dental Guards. Dentech's snug top layer and protective bottom layer end the grind. Protect with Dentech.
WeatherTech's ready-to-wash system is the perfect Father's Day gift. It's everything Dad needs to clean his vehicle, starting with a bucket that rolls and locks to provide you with a handy seat, and comes with our Grit Grate, mitt holder, shampoo, wash mitt, water blade, and soaker. From wheels to windshield, it's absolutely everything you need to keep your vehicle looking its best. It's the perfect gift for any dad. Go to WeatherTech.com to order today. Happy Father's Day from WeatherTech.
The NBA Finals. Stream every game live on the ESPN app. Download the ESPN app today.
At AutoZone, we test batteries, starters, and alternators for free. Because we don't sell you parts you don't need.
That's interesting. Hey, I got a bad battery or alternator. I'm not really sure. Hey.
Well, luckily we test all that for free.
Right on.
So you can get some answers for free.
Awesome, man. Hey, you need an extra helper? This one's free. Right here. Right here. Hey, come here. Okay.
Hired.
Kids, let's get you what you need.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Going to business school, I took out a very big student loan. It was the first time that I actually felt a sense of fear. It was stressful. Then my friend told me about SoFi. I lowered my interest rate by 40%, which will save me over $25,000. Now I go to SoFi's member events, and I met some really inspiring people. Refinancing my loan with SoFi was probably one of the smartest things I've ever done.
Save thousands by consolidating your student loans. Get your rate in less than 2 minutes. Visit trysofi.com.
From Steph
Good morning, America.
to the King.
Good morning, America.
Everyone wants to say,
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America!
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America!
oh, and can't forget,
I'm not as beautiful as the other hosts, but good morning, America.
SportsCenter, brought to you by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach, and Xfinity. Experience TV like never before with Xfinity X1.
Happy 11:45 at night in the East, America. So Golden State's up 2-0.
Yeah, like last year.
If we did not have the hindsight of last year, would you go, oh, well, this thing's cut, dried, done?
Not really.
No.
Because obviously Cleveland will play better in Cleveland. Kyrie has to play better.
Got to play better.
He has to play like a Hall of Famer, like he did last year.
He did last year, exactly.
40 points, dropped 40 in Game 3. You know, if he does that and LeBron does LeBron, then they can do it. But Kyrie's got to be better.
Then we should hear from Kyrie.
Good move.
Kyrie, how do you get used to it?
By just playing, just matching it or playing even faster. You know, fourth quarter, you know, just getting out quick. No matter if they score or on a miss, you just gotta get it out.
Kyrie, last year you were down 0-2. Find a way to get the win in Game 3. What do you have to do against this Warriors team to do the same this year?
Well, we'll look at film. There's obviously some things that we can correct, some adjustments that we'll make going into Game 3. Be prepared when we go at home.
What are the things you feel like they're doing to disrupt you personally?
Just seeing a lot of bodies. You know, they're obviously trying to make a few other guys make you know, some plays. So when we're going off and coming off into our isolation, you know, they're bringing a few extra bodies and, you know, they're crowding the lane. So for us, just see the weak side action and be able to make the passes.
Kyrie, sorry if you were asked this already, but the third quarter was down 3.5. Can you pinpoint what happened in the third quarter?
They jumped on us again. You know, got to open three. You know, Steph gets the line a few times, and they get, you know, Klay going a little bit, and they create you know, a bit of a lead that they can play comfortable in. And, you know, for us, we just make the conscious effort, continue to get back on defense, and just continue to push the pace.
Defensively, it seemed like in the first half, you guys were bothering them, forcing them into turnovers. What changed in the second half on that end?
They made shots. They made shots. A couple of shots that they made on our breakdowns. You know, a few screens here and there. They got their shooters open, and as well as some long bombs that, you know, sometimes even if you get the best contest, they still go in. So we got to give credit, respect, but you know, obviously there's some things that we can do to rattle them a little bit more.
How much tougher are they defensively, you know, for you guys when Thompson's shooting the ball like he did today?
I mean, you know, that's the difference right there, as you can see. You know, Klay, they still beat us pretty bad in Game 1, and they come out and Klay has a decent game this game, and you know, we score but more, but Klay still gets it going. So you know, we just got to be aware of all the shooters out there on the floor, stick to our game plan.
Is it enough just going home, or do you have to play differently?
What's that?
Is it enough just to go home, or do you have to play differently?
We took care of home court. We understand that. You know, down 0-2, you know, going back home. You know, you got to live with those odds, and you got to remain non-wavering, as I say, never waver in terms of whatever the outlook looks like. We go home, we understand who we are, and we stay the course.
Could you draw back on last year and the fact that you guys were in this same spot last year and were able to come back?
I mean, as much as the comparison wants to be drawn from last year to this year, this is a totally different team. So there is no comparison, even though being down 0-2 again, going back home.
A totally different Warriors team?
Oh, totally. Well,
for both
teams.
I
feel like, I mean, it could be both, honestly. So it's a different series. I mean, from our third year that we're playing against one another. So, you know, going back home, still stay the course.
Is it hard to remain unwavering just because of the sheer amount of firepower they bring?
Hell no. No. Not built any other way.
For the game one, you guys talked about the turnover as a big factor. What do you feel for the game one? You guys talked about turnover as the major factor you can correct. But what do you feel like you guys should correct the 1 point as a game 2, like can pinpoint?
I'm not understanding what you're asking.
Yeah. For the game 1, you guys
turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers. What about this game? Is there anything you can?
Well, I mean, they made some tough shots. You know, Steph got to the line. I think he shot you know, a few free throws tonight. You know, and then KD got hot coming on late, and then, you know, when Klay shooting the ball like that, a few long bombs that are going in, you know, it become even tougher to defend. So, like I said, we just got to stick to our game plan, and then when we fly back home, be ready to play for Game 3.
Cleveland will now try to become the 5th team to overcome a 2-0 deficit. 1969 Celtics were the first to do it. Bill Russell's final season, he was a player-coach. Jerry West was named the Finals MVP. They won Game 7 in L.A. with balloons in the rafters. 8 years later, Bill Walton and the Trailblazers brought Portland its only title winning 4 straight against the Sixers after down 0-2. Dirk and the Mavs looked headed for their first title before Dwayne Wade got a lot of calls, averaged 39 points in Game 3 through 6, Heat win. And then, of course, last year, LeBron, Cavs down 0-2, down 3-1, won 3 in a row, and won a championship for Cleveland. Cleveland, this is for you.
Isn't this fun, living like the pioneers of olden times? I hate the outside. Well, I hate it wherever you are. Burn. Burn. Is that what the kids are saying now? I'm so bored, I'm dead. You can always compare rates on Progressive.com. Oh, that's nice, dear. But could you compare camping trips? Because this one would win. All I want to do is enjoy nature and peace and quiet. It's not about winning. It's about helping people find a great rate, even if it's not with Progressive. Oh, insurance. When I said peace and quiet, did you hear talk more and disappoint me? Do-do-do-do. Skiddly-do-do. Camping with my family.
What if technology gave us the power to turn this enemy into an ally?
Microsoft and its partners are using smart traps to capture mosquitoes and sequence their DNA to fight disease. There are over 100 million pieces of DNA in every sample. With the Microsoft Cloud, we can analyze the data faster than ever before. If we can detect new viruses before they spread, we may someday prevent outbreaks before they begin.
You love them together, but you've never had them quite like this. At Red Lobster's Lobster and Shrimp Summerfest, the lobster and shrimp you love are teaming up in so many new ways. Like new coastal lobster and shrimp, with a lobster tail with butter and herbs, sweet, smoky barbecue red shrimp, and shrimp crusted with, get this, Cape Cod kettle chips. Or try lobster and shrimp overboard. A dish this good makes you this hungry. It's the highlight of the season and can't last, so hurry in.
Why create something this extravagant? Or make a back seat that feels nothing like a back seat? Why give it every feature you could want, along with a few you didn't know you needed? It's simple. You can build a car, or you can build a Cadillac.
No.
Text Blades to Gillette On Demand.
Text to reorder blades and get $3 off your first order with Gillette On Demand.
We, the device-loving people, want more than just unlimited data. We want unlimited entertainment, so we can stream unlimited action, punch unlimited robots, watch unlimited romance, if you're into that. But we also want more, like unlimited HBO.
Can I stop dying now, Mark?
No can do, mi amigo. It's unlimited. Besides, you're really good at it, James.
Don't settle for any unlimited data plan. Only the AT&T Unlimited Plus plan comes with HBO included at no extra charge.
You're here to buy a car. What would help is simply being able to recognize a fair price. That's never really been possible. But along comes a radically new way to buy a car called TrueCar. And now it is. TrueCar has pricing data on every make and model, so all you have to do is search for the car you want. There it is. Now you're an expert in less than a minute. This is how car buying was always meant to be. This is TrueCar.
Ow. This is not the NBA Finals, it's baseball. Sunday night baseball on ESPN. Cardinals, Cubbies, SportsCenter to follow. Hey, look, here we are. David Ross in the booth for Sunday's game. Getting loose.
Getting warming up Hayward.
Very nice. He and Booney sang Take Me Out to the Ballgame.
Did they?
Yeah, during the 7th inning stretch. Matt Carpenter in the 1st inning. Oh, if I was a Carpenter.
Oh.
There's Hayward to make the great diving grab.
Long arms.
I mean, he struggled with the hitting some, but man, can that guy catch a baseball. Cubs down 4-3, 2 runners on in the 4th. Ian Happ.
He's got some pop.
He's got a 3-run homer right there over the Ivy. Ivy's blooming out. Nice summer coming. Cubs take a 6-4 lead in the 7th.
I don't think it'll get hot next weekend.
2 runners on for the Cubbies.
That camera.
John Jay lines one into left. Former Cardinal John Jay. Yep. Anthony Rizzo comes home. Hayward's getting the hot box there.
Rizzo just got engaged.
Eventually. Did he?
Yeah.
Well, it's because the ladies like diamonds. Cubs win 7-6. They end the 10-game winning streak by sweeping the Cards.
Let's make out, America.
Yep.
Sorry, Nicole. All right, Great American Ballpark, left field line, just 328. Zach Cozart, 2-run homer, went 342. A home run would only be a homer in 2 Major League ballparks. Minute Maid Park is the other. Crawford box, right? Rougned Odor, I will punch you in the face. Punch you in the face! Only reason this was a solo homer because the wind speed at the time was 24 mile an hour. Happy Wednesday, Pooh. It gave the ball a 59-foot push. Aaron Judge just hitting practice dude bombs into the buffet, the hotel, Rogers Center, RE Hotel. 2 home runs during batting practice hit into the hotel. That's room service. Yep. Meanwhile, in Toronto.
Well, it's Josh Donaldson bobblehead day.
Canada.
You know, he'd like to do something big right here. 3-2. Fly ball, deep to right. Going back, Judge, track, wall, see ya. He did something big. 3-2 Blue Jays.
Love the goal horn for the dude bombs in Canada. That's awesome.
He's a dude.
I love the red shirt with the red hat and the red maple leaf. Andrew McCutchen, since they put him in the 6th hole, he's really started to hit. 394 in his last 10 games. Seems to have the pop. His exit velocity clearly improving.
Also a dude.
Definitely.
NBA Finals. 2-0 Golden State. Where have we seen that before? A year ago. Don't give up, America. We know Cleveland hasn't, and we haven't either. More coverage coming up. Oh, wait.
Sorry about the holdup, folks. We have some congestion on the runway, and I'm being told it'll be another 15, maybe 20 minutes, and we will have you on your way.
Runway models on the runway? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Evan saved by switching to Geico.
I would not wear that lace. I don't know.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Chips made of crispy fried chicken, served with a sinful side of nacho cheese sauce. Add a crunchy taco, a burrito supreme, and a drink, and they're even harder to resist. Beware, Taco Bell's new $5 naked chicken chips box is one bad bundle.
Brought to you by the Council and not Taco Bell.
Officials are reporting this new Doritos mix is responsible for the worldwide bold outbreak.
Woohoo! Over to you, Bob! Things have gone totally around the bend!
Has the world gone completely bold?
New Doritos mix, 4 snacks in 1.
Advil liquid gels work so fast, you'll ask, what bad back? What pulled hammy? Advil liquid gels make pain a distant memory. Nothing works faster, stronger, or longer. What? Pain Advil.
Every home is unique.
Hi.
Hi. Oh.
Come on in.
That's why I rely on science.
There's not a crumb in this house, and yet I still find bugs.
Well, insects aren't always looking for food. Sometimes they look to stay out of the cold or for a place to lay their eggs. That's why I'll create a customized plan using the latest science from my team of entomologists to keep your home from becoming their maternity ward.
At AutoZone, we know you don't need an expensive new tool. That's why we loan over 100 specialty tools for free.
Here's your disc brake caliper tool.
That's it? I don't have to buy it?
Yeah, you're all set. Just bring it back when you're done.
Do other people know about this?
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe.
All right, later.
You forgot your other stuff.
Yes, I did.
Let's get you what you need.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Steve, you okay, man?
I just can't stay in shape like I used to.
So you know you're over 40 now.
So?
So, your body produces less free testosterone. It's harder to stay in shape. Don't worry, it happens to us all.
Yeah, so how come you still look like the big hurt?
Because I got Nugenics.
If you're a guy over 40, you need Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. For your complimentary bottle of Nugenics, text ADD to 321321. Nugenics is a unique man-boosting formula powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help boost your free testosterone levels. Nugenics can help you feel stronger, leaner, with a lot more energy and drive. More passion, too.
Hey, Steve. Looks like Nugenics is really working.
Yeah, I feel like a new man.
Get back in shape with a complimentary bottle of Nugenics. Text ADD to 321321. Nugenics samples are not available in stores, so text ADD to 321321.
SportsCenter is brought to you by 47 Meters Down. How do you survive the world's greatest predators? Claire Holt, Mandy Moore, 47 Meters Down. On June 16th, stay out of the water. Rated PG-13.
Welcome back to SportsCenter. John Butchergosh, John Anderson, Steve Kerr. Returning to the sidelines for Game 2. LeBron James with a hug. Golden State off to a good start, but here comes LeBron. He had an extra hop in his step in Game 2 tonight. 12 of 18 from the floor, very efficient. 4 or 5 from the free throw line. That's been not an issue. Look at that strength. He would finish with a triple-double, 29 points, 14 assists, 11 rebounds, all defensive rebounds, no offensive rebounds. Of course, finding the open man. That was the only three that one of 2 threes that Kyrie Irving made. He was 2 of 6. That's kind of below average. That's 33%. 8-point game now, 9 minutes to go, and here goes Steph going for a little reverse skate. LeBron's doing his best. At this point, Kevin Love maybe could have provided some help defense. Doesn't happen. Steph was 7-17 from the floor, under 50%, 4 of 11 from 3. That's okay, but he made every free throw, 14 of 14. Warriors win Game 2.
We made runs. We cut it to 4 at one point, and then they went on a quick 9-0 run or 12-0 run. What they do. That's what Golden State do. If you make a mistake, like I said, we had a turnover. It came from me, and then we had a miscue, and the flood's open again. For me, I feel much better on the road. So, you go home, people tend to get more comfortable. You're in your own bed and your own facilities and things of that nature. So, and for me, it doesn't change. I'm the same way on the road or at home. I still have this bunker mentality when it comes to playing ball. So, we look forward to it. Our fans are looking forward to it. We know that. So, we got to give them something to cheer for.
Hey, LeBron, usually you're a podium guy. I mean, in the finals especially. Is just coming doing this in the locker room any reason for that?
Yeah, there's a reason.
You want to share?
No.
Wendy tweeted that he's been waiting maybe more than he would like to get to the podium. But that's fine. I don't care what they talk. I mean, he was fine there.
Said the same stuff, I imagine.
Gives good answers, very engaged. In fact, his energy might be better there in those close quarters. He's kind of, talking to people eyeball to eyeball, not up on a podium. So far, the biggest difference this year has been success when guarded by LeBron. Now, again, he's got Kevin Durant, gets stuck in a bit of a mismatch with Curry, so that's why these numbers are gonna look like this. Want to go back to Oakland?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go back to Oakland. Michael Wilbon,
3 hours earlier there.
Going to contribute to the program.
Talking to go now.
Talking to your boy.
Klay Thompson, how tired did you get of hearing 3 for 16 after Game 1?
Well, we got the win, so it wasn't too bad. And I'm good at tuning things out during the playoffs, but I'm harder on myself than any critic could be. So I knew I had more left in me than just 3 for 16 or whatever. But I'm happy the way I played tonight, played efficient, took good shots, and played hard on defense. If I do those things, it's all going to even out.
So you didn't need any cheering up by teammates or coaches or any of that stuff in the meantime?
But, when you don't shoot the ball well as a shooter, everyone in the world texts you like, oh, it's all right, man, keep shooting. I'm like, guys, you don't have to tell me that. I'm going to keep shooting. So they pay me to do, so.
You also played great defense in the meantime. Your man, the guy you were guarding, missed 11 of 12 shots. How much do you take away from that?
I pride myself on defense, but even tonight I thought I played great defense. So, but it's easy to get caught up in, all that hype. But I got a good memory, and I remember my second year in the league. Played great defense on Tony Parker. Everyone was telling me how good I was, whatever. Game 3 comes out, tortures me for 25 points in the first half. Same thing last year. They thought I was playing great on Kyrie. Comes out Game 5, gets 40. So you can't get caught up in it, and you just got to stay hungry and keep fighting because we're playing some great individual scores.
You were up 2-0, and you have bounced the Cavaliers around pretty good. But this series now moves to Cleveland. What do you expect? You played enough against these guys the last few years. What do you expect from LeBron and the Cavaliers?
Them to play hard, them to capitalize, we turn the ball over. If we go to Cleveland, we turn the ball over 13 times in the first half, we'll be in trouble. So we got to keep that to, maybe 3 or 4. We'll give ourselves a chance. And then just go in there hungry. Go in there, act like we're down 0-2. Don't go in there think we got a cushion because we all got great memories. You remember what happened last year. It's still fresh in our minds. So just go to Cleveland with a mission.
Does it feel different between having Kevin Durant and the way you've won these 2 games? Does it feel different in any way from last year?
What do you think, Mike? That's easy. You know, when you got a guy who can get you a bucket just on his own at any time. 2 guys like that, and Steph and KD, they bail us out a lot. We've been getting them great shots, but there's things that they do out there you can't really teach them. And Kevin is nice to have out there, or he's great to have, because when our offense isn't really good flowing at all, we just throw him the ball, and it's like you can get a good shot every time. He's almost 7 feet with the shooting touch of a Dirk Nowitzki and athleticism like a Dominique Wilkins with handles. So he's phenomenal.
Last thing, how's it feel to have your coach back on the bench?
Oh, it's great, man. We miss Steve. Give credit to Mike B, though. He did such a phenomenal job these last few months in the playoffs. And the ovation Steve got at the beginning, he deserved that. And our fans are great. And for him to come out here and fight and do everything he can to be in the finals motivates us. So it felt great to have Steve back.
Klay Thompson doesn't have to hear about 3 for 16 anymore, not after this game and a Game 2 win in Oracle. Klay, thank you, man. Appreciate
thanks,
it.
Mr. Wilbon. Appreciate it.
SportsCenter on the road is powered by Ford Escape. Always unstoppable.
Yeah, John Starr, part of our 3 stars, brought to you by Gillette. Vroom, vroom. Monster Energy, Monster Mile. Jimmy Johnson is a monster. The 48 car had some struggles, but as always, the guy driving managed to make his way to the front of the field. Johnson, 10 times a winner in Dover, Delaware. Now it goes to 11. That puts him with Petty and Waltrip to win at least 11 times at one track. 83rd Cup win ties him for 6th overall with his idol, Cale Yarborough. Must have known something was coming because had Cale's face painted on his helmet and then went throwback number 28 Hardy's ball cap in victory lane. Afterwards, Johnson then related a delightful story about the first time he actually went to a Hardy's. It was somewhere in Oklahoma, and he was convinced he would go inside and find Yarborough. Came away only with a hamburger and his first taste of big-time NASCAR sponsorship deals. Jimmy Johnson, John Starr.
This summer, we've got a job for you, to make summer. Now, we're not gonna lie, there's a lot of work to do. Late nights can be expected. Oh, and weekends too. A lot will be riding on your choices. There's a strict dress code and some pretty hot conditions. But the perks? Well, there'll always be plenty of Coronas. So let's all get out there and get to work, because this is how we make summer.
Wi-Fi. We literally cannot live without it. And if we can't live without it, maybe it's time to reimagine it and make it even better. So it's awesomely fast. No, still nope, now we're talking. So it works here, and here, and here. And so you can even take the occasional timeout.
Whoa!
Yes, indeed. Speed, coverage, control.
Introducing Xfinity XFi. Find your awesome and change the way you Wi-Fi.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you.
I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
Is it suede?
Suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you.
I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it.
Is it suede?
It's suede.
I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Fact, people spend less time lying awake with aches and pains with Advil PM than with Tylenol PM. Advil PM combines the #1 pain reliever with the #1 sleep aid. Gentle, non-habit-forming Advil PM for a healing night's sleep.
Meet Taco Bell's latest affront to traditional fried chicken values. Barbara? The all-new Naked Chicken Chips, made of crispy fried chicken dipped in a seductive nacho cheese sauce. Be warned, Taco Bell's Naked Chicken Chips are tantalizing triangles of temptation.
Brought to you by the Council and not Taco Bell.
Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot lets you save on top-rated power, more colorful gardening, healthier growing, and more ways to get grilling for a lot less. Make the most of your Memorial Day with great savings like these. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Why create something this extravagant?
Or make a back seat that feels nothing like a back seat? Why give it every feature you could want, along with a few you didn't know you needed? It's simple. You can build a car, or you can build a Cadillac.
Of course, 7-Up is delicious alone. But ladies, did you know you can make lots of stuff with 7-Up?
I didn't.
Try adding it to lemon cake for an extra kick on pinochle night.
What else can you do with 7-Up?
Well, you could mix 7-Up with whiskey and drink it at this underground fight club.
Esther?
You know Esther?
We thought you were dead. We went to your funeral.
Well, turns out I'm alive.
In summary, you could do a lot with 7-Up and your dead friend's a cage fighter. 7-Up. Mix it up a little.
Back on SportsCenter, NBA Finals Game 2. Steve Kerr returns night. First time he's been on the bench since April 19th, Game 2, Round 1.
I just think the numbers are totally deceiving. I mean, you can talk like 15-0 or whatever he did, but the team was just falling apart at the seams. And so I just had to get back to make sure we righted the ship. They've been informed throughout the process. You know, they know that I'm doing better. I've been kind of giving them updates. You know, but we didn't have a shoot around this morning. I didn't send out the group text or anything. They probably already know because they're all on their phones all the time.
Yeah, those kids. A little needle for Mike Brown. Little poke, little poke. So the fans noticed, LeBron noticed. That's props, given props, respect, given respect. Warriors would go on to win 132-113. They're now 3-0 under Kerr in the playoffs, 14-0 overall. There you see most consecutive postseason wins in NBA history. They are now alone. The Cavaliers 13, 10 this year, and 3 last year in the finals. You may recall that. NBA Finals, Game 3, last 3 seasons. Cavs are hosting this game for the 3rd consecutive year. They won each of the first 2, including a 30-point blowout. 2016 when LeBron and Kyrie both dropped 30 points. Butchie and I know, yay, we were there.
3 stars of the night brought to you by Gillette. And the Bucci main star of the night goes to, well, I'm not sure yet. I do know that it will be a Santana. They all had good Sundays.
Obviously losing Freddie Freeman for 8 to 10 weeks as that ball is hit high in the air deep toward left. That ball is at the track. That ball is gone. A moonshot for Danny Santana. In the air left center field. That ball is hit well. Way back. See you later. Domingo Santana with a home run.
I mean, Carlos rocked when he repeated the second stanza of the anthem before moving on to the bridge. Domingo Santana, your boy, he homered in a win for the first-place Brewers, but that was his only hit. Even Carlos Santana had 2 walks and a run scored in the Indians win. But the best Sunday Santana, Danny Santana of the Braves, Danny, who had 4 hits and 3 RBIs, including that first home run for the Braves since he was acquired from Minnesota in a trade May the 8th. Braves win. I can see the day that I breathed for. Friends agree there's a need to play the game and to win again. They were all singing Santana's I'm Winning. Top plays, America Star, all on the way. Danny.
You love them together, but you've never had them quite like this. At Red Lobster's Lobster and Shrimp Summerfest, the lobster and shrimp you love are teaming up in so many new ways. Like new coastal lobster and shrimp, with a lobster tail with butter and herbs, sweet, smoky barbecue red shrimp, and shrimp crusted with, get this, Cape Cod kettle chips. Or try lobster and shrimp overboard. A dish this good makes you this hungry. It's the highlight of the season and can't last, so hurry in.
Agent Lorraine Broughton, expert in hand-to-hand combat and escape and evasion.
Someone set me up.
CIA, MI6, everyone's involved.
She made it out.
This only ends one way.
I miss you, babe.
I wish you were here. I miss home.
What if technology gave us the power to turn this enemy into an ally?
Microsoft and its partners are using smart traps to capture mosquitoes and sequence their DNA to fight disease. There are over 100 million pieces of DNA in every sample. With the Microsoft Cloud, we can analyze the data faster than ever before. If we can detect new viruses before they spread, we may someday prevent outbreaks before they begin.
I'm leaving you, Wesley.
But why?
You haven't noticed me in 2 years.
I was in a coma.
Well, I still deserve appreciation.
Who was there for you when you had amnesia?
Ugh, you know I can't remember that.
Stop this madness. If it's appreciation you want, you should both get Snapshot from Progressive. It rewards good drivers with big discounts on car insurance.
It's a miracle. I can walk again.
Go back to your room, Susan Lucci.
I'll take a lemonade.
That'll be $2.37.
Your sign says $1.
Yeah, but that doesn't include fees and added taxes.
Fees and added taxes?
They're all listed on your bill.
Are you kidding me?
Tired of wireless carriers saying one price, but after taxes and fees, you end up paying way more? Only T-Mobile gives you unlimited data with taxes and fees already included. So the price we say is the price you pay. Right now, get 4 lines of unlimited for just $40 each, taxes and fees already included.
Welcome back to John Butchergosh. John Anderson, Women's College World Series story from Sunday. Delaney Gorley, chance to pitch the Gators into the Women's College World Series. I love their uniforms. She was the winning pitcher in the 2014 CWS title game against Alabama. Complete game, struck out 10, allowed just 2 hits. Both runs were unearned. Gators win 5-2. Chomp, chomp. They clinch a spot in the Women's College World Series. Oklahoma, Oregon. Sooners 1 win away from the WCWS. Paige Parker 7-0. I love the Ducks unis as well. Like that little duck on the top of their helmet. Monica Mercado. Oh, Mercado. When you're in Naples, go to Mercado. It's lovely. 2-run homer off of Paige Parker. Shea Knighton. Oh, she's going to inside, outside. That one down the right field line. Fair ball. Oklahoma wins. They're going to their 4th WCWS. In the last 6 years, they'll face Florida in the finals. Good stuff. There it is. Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Game 1 of the best of 3 Women's College World Series Championship from Oklahoma City between Florida and Oklahoma. You can also stream it on the app.
You're watching SportsCenter.
He with John B. I'm John A. Thanks for having us.
I don't want to worry about what I'm wearing, how my hair looks.
Go fell to the Speedo!
At night.
See, I didn't have to get that.
No.
Text Blades to Gillette On Demand.
Text to reorder blades and get $3 off your first order with Gillette On Demand.
Wi-Fi. We literally cannot live without it. And if we can't live without it, maybe it's time to reimagine it and make it even better. So it's awesomely fast. No, still nope, now we're talking. So it works here, and here, and here. And so you can even take the occasional timeout.
Whoa!
Yes, indeed. Speed, coverage, control.
Introducing Xfinity X5. Find your awesome and change the way you Wi-Fi.
Introducing Papa John's large bacon cheddar burger pizza, only $10.
Bacon cheddar burger pizza? I love that zesty burger sauce. And that hickory smoked bacon and pickles covered in melty cheddar.
When you love better ingredients like we do, you go the distance.
Get the new Bacon Cheddar Burger Pizza with pickles, bacon, and zesty burger sauce. On pan or large crust, only $10.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
And it's all tied up in Chicago.
I got this. Game over.
When you got flow, you know. New Gatorade Flow. All the flavor with a new smooth finish.
It's an important question you ask, but one I think with a simple answer. We have this need to peek over our neighbor's fence. And once we do, we see wonder waiting. Every step you take narrows the influence of narrow minds, bridges continents, and brings this world one step closer. So, the question you asked me, what is the key?
It's you.
Everything in one place, so you can travel the world better.
Captain.
Captain. Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain. Captain. Captain. Captain.
Captain.
Captain. Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain. Captain. Captain. Captain. Captain. Captain.
Dave.
Captain Dave. Captain!
What if there was a paint for your door that not only made a big first impression, but was designed to withstand sunlight this bright, or even this bright? If a paint could protect your door's color against the strongest UV rays, it makes you wonder, is it still paint? Aura Grand Entrance from Benjamin Moore. Only available at independently owned paint and hardware stores.
Hello. Let's go for a ride on a Peloton. Let's go grab a couple thousand friends and chase each other up a hill. Let's go make a personal best, then beat it with your personal better than best. Let's go bring the world's best instructors right to you. Better yet, let's go bring the entire New York studio live. Let's go anytime, anywhere, with anyone who's willing. And let's go do it all right here. Ready to go? Peloton.
Hey now! SportsCenter's top plays. Number 10, Fred. Cubs Cardinals Tommy Pham line drive right at Carl Edwards Jr. Woo! That's why he gave up the auto racing. It's a dangerous sport. Carl Edwards Jr. Excellent snatch. World class.
Carl's Jr. Steph Curry, first career playoff triple-double. That's one of his dimes. He had 11 assists to lead everybody.
Number 8, college baseball. We're in the playoffs now. Clemson Vanderbilt, Logan Davidson. Fly ball to left field.
Wow, that's a long
Roe
way.
Coleman.
He went a long way.
They're anchored down. Excellent hustle by Coleman. We have more coming.
Number 7, Kyle Stanley made a nice big check in Dublin, Ohio. How about that's the toughest shot in golf, the long bunker shot. He would finish T6. Good check.
A lot of times I hit really long bunker shots, but not on purpose. Very low. More Clemson Vandy at number 6. J.J. Lede, fly ball to left, and Reed Rollman's there this time.
I wish my name was Dominic DiCaprio. I would have had more success with the women. Or if I was that athletic. Dominic. LSU beats Rice 5-0.
Number 4, Arena Football. Champions indoor football.
Champions League?
Dodge City Law, Duke City Gladiators. Rashad Pargo goes into the crowd to make the catch. Rudy Johnson. Rudy throws it, and then Rashad.
Whoa, on the table for one?
Yeah. Ooh. You get to keep him, too. It's the Arena League. You need the ball and the player.
Take him home.
Yeah.
Number 3, Xavier taking on Louisville. Look at Rylan Bannon. What a catch, but Louisville wins 8-7.
Number 2, Argentine soccer. Milo receives the pass, dribbles, spinning. Got it.
How's that not number 1?
Money. How is there no one there to see this greatness? I guess the television is really hurting the draw. But Milo, such footwork.
This is number 1. Curry against LeBron. LeBron could use some help. Kevin Love, come on over. Don't worry about Ja. You can take it. Again, Steph, first playoff career triple-double. Those were two of his more satisfying points.
Of course, 7-Up is delicious alone. But ladies, did you know you can make lots of stuff with 7-Up?
I didn't.
Try adding it to lemon cake for an extra kick on pinochle night.
What else can you do with 7-Up?
Well, you could mix 7-Up with whiskey and drink it at this underground fight club.
Esther?
You know Esther?
We thought you were dead. We went to your funeral.
Well, turns out I'm alive.
In summary, you could do a lot with 7-Up and your dead friend's a cage fighter. 7-Up. Mix it up a little.
Wendy's Double Stack is still an option in the 4 for $4. With a quarter pound of fresh beef, that's a deal so good it should not exist. Like how owls shouldn't be able to turn their heads all the way around.
Whew, wouldn't like that deal.
The Double Stack and the 4 for $4. A deal so great, it's impossibly good, but not for long.
I believe computers are important in design, but it's the human touch that creates design with a feeling, creating a form that appeals to your heart.
Why are we so passionate about perfecting designs by hand? Because driving matters. Introducing the all-new Mazda CX-5.
Come on in. Pull up a chair. Gather around. So many ways to invite people to come together. Or you could just put out the Sabra and let the simple, fresh ingredients do the talking. Sabra, welcome to the unofficial meal.
Oh, you back. Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up!
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
With car insurance for when things go wrong.
What a day!
But also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Yes!
Hello! Mike's, drink on the bright side.
With hotels getting so expensive, how do you find great deals anymore? Well, Priceline found a way with Express Deal Hotels. We work with top hotels to fill their unsold rooms, saving you up to 60%. Just tap and go. Check them out now at Priceline.
Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot lets you save on top-rated power, more colorful gardening, healthier growing, and more ways to get grilling for a lot less. Make the most of your Memorial Day with great savings like these. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
No splashing!
Wait, so you got rid of Verizon just like that?
I switched to T-Mobile, kept my phone, everything on it. Oh, I even paid it off.
Wow.
Yeah. It's nice that every bad decision doesn't have to be permanent.
Now you can ditch Verizon but keep your phone. We'll even pay it off when you switch to T-Mobile.
Wi-Fi. We literally cannot live without it. And if we can't live without it, maybe it's time to reimagine it and make it even better. So it's awesomely fast. No, still nope, now we're talking. So it works here, and here, and here. And so you can even take the occasional timeout.
Whoa!
Yes, indeed. Speed, coverage, control.
Introducing Xfinity X5. Find your awesome and change the way you Wi-Fi.
SportsCenter, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And 84 Lumber, ready to build you? 84 is hiring. Apply online.
Congratulations, Conrad Schindler. He won the Web.com Tour, his first career win.
Other golf news, Peyton Manning played with the president, and Jason Duffner won the Memorial.
And America's star was Steph Curry.
You'll see a lot of him coming up next 90 minutes.
It's a lot of sports in 15 seconds.
This is SportsCenter.
Golden State trying to make sure they go to Cleveland up 2-0. Oh! Another 31 for Durant.
We got next. Cue the Jam Master J. John, and jumpers. Lots of them.
Many of them went in.
Splash.
Steve Kerr watched them all from the Warriors bench. Golden State went back to their coach. Cavs went back to their black unis. Worked so well in games 5 and 7 a year ago. Game 2 NBA Finals. There's Kerr. Coaching out since April 19th. Continued complications from the back issues. 3-point game at half, so in the third quarter, Steph Curry gave his coach and the fans at Roracle a show. Now, we're just trying to follow Curry here, much as LeBron tried to follow Curry here. Spectacular point, 2 of his 32, fancy dribbling. Warriors are up 10. Rudy Gobert, your thoughts? Curry's not done. You got Kyrie Irving attacking the basket. Kevin Durant defense alters the shot, and then Curry, without looking, Shaun Livingston standing there for the bunny. And my favorite here, so throws it here, and now got the goggles.
They like to celebrate before the ball goes in.
By the way, generally late at night, if you have the goggles on, bad things can happen. And look, I see you too. Everybody's peeping at everybody. Warriors take an 11-point lead. The third quarter onslaught continues. Mike Breen giving voice to it.
Curry from downtown. Bang!
Bang! Curry didn't shoot it super from behind the arc, 4 of 11, but he made that one.
Bang!
Yes, Kevin Durant. This will make any coach look good. This will make you come back to the bench. He had 33 points, 13 of 22, and he might be hearing from the league, can't slash gesture. 34 seconds later, Durant, long range, 4 threes, 13 boards. The Warriors blew this thing on. They went by 30 like they did in Game 2 a year ago. And then Curry, he had his first career finals triple-double, 32, 10, the 11 assists. Draymond Green on how Curry and Durant get locked in, mama-like.
I see 2 guys who, Steph, I've been around for 5 years. K, who I've been a teammate now with for a year, but played against for 5 years. More locked in than I've ever seen either one of them in my life. Well, whether it was playing against him, other than when he put 52 up on my head.
54.
My fault.
Let's get the accounting straight, right? I put 54 on you.
That's a fix.
Here's the accounting. 2-0 lead in the finals for the Warriors. They've won 14 straight in the postseason. 132-113. Winners talk.
Talk about Kevin just as a defensive player.
His defense was amazing, and we needed it, especially with Draymond out. It's a small game, and you got shooters everywhere, and you have to be able to protect the rim with LeBron coming downhill, with Love posting up, and Draymond's on the bench. So that's a pretty scary proposition for us. And I thought Kevin's defense was unreal, and was probably the key to the whole game.
Do you feel like you guys have a sense for the Durant Warriors, like all the wrinkles?
They're a different team. They're a different team. You guys asked me what was the difference, and I told you so. They're a different team.
They jumped on us again. Got an open 3. Steph gets the line a few times, and they get, Klay going a little bit, and they create a bit of a lead that they can play comfortable in. And for us, we just make the conscious effort, continue to get back on defense, and just continue to push the pace.
If you have to describe the attitude of the team in the last 2 games in 3 words, what would be the 3 words you describe the team attitude?
3 words? You already hit your word limit on your story?
I was just looking for the values, for the teamwork. I mean, how you describe the team?
We just play smart, aggressive, and with joy. I mean, that's 4 words. I tried. I tried.
I'm willing to waive the and. Smart, aggressive, joy.
I think it was with joy. He wasn't counting the and, he was counting the with, John. That's
Take
a
your
fix.
prepositions. Anyway, 65 combined in this one for them. Curry and Durant. 2 games combined for 131 points in the series. That is 53% of the team's points. Of course, the other 47, nice to have teammates.
And they outscored LeBron and Kyrie 65-48 in Game 2. Cleveland has to, really, those 2 guys have to outscore these 2 guys to do it. And this was a play everyone wanted to talk about after the game. They got caught up in a one-on-one scenario. Last year, LeBron had much success against Steph, guarding him, especially that one moment in Cleveland. Here, Curry goes for a bit of a jog and eventually gets right back to the rack again.
Off, Jay.
Again, this is what I was talking about last year, Game 6. LeBron was having, like, what do you do? What are you doing? Back to Sunday night in any language.
Curry, foge do LeBron. Tira o LeBron para dançar. Gira para lá e para cá. O LeBron não acha o Curry, que faz a finta, vem para dentro, na bandeja. Você é ridículo.
Portuguese, American, any language.
Obviously, he's a great defender, so if you have opportunities, you have to do something, pretty special to score. But for the most part, you can't focus on like you're in a playground. It's just y'all two out there. Honestly, I was rushing to begin with because I felt like there's an angle here, an angle there, and there wasn't because a huge crowd around on that right side of the floor. And then I was able to kind of reset back behind the three-point line, give a little hesitation, make him think you're going to shoot and just try to go around him. And at that point, I was a little bit more composed than earlier in that possession. I was just kind of like a chicken with my head cut off, just, running circles.
14 of 14 from the line was Steph as well. He shot 14 free throws. Kyrie Irving attempted 2. That could change in Cleveland. Meanwhile, when LeBron is guarding people, they're doing pretty well so far. Of course, he's guarding good players. You saw one there in Steph, and of course, Kevin Durant. Sometimes he'll play off the ball trying to help others, and they get easy buckets, but that's the number there. More to talk about from Oakland. Stan Verrett is a contributor.
SportsCenter on the road is powered by Ford Escape, always unstoppable. Golden State Warriors have been unstoppable so far through 2 games of these NBA Finals. There's a look at the beautiful sunset by the bay. The Cavaliers trying to figure out what they can do to try to climb back into this series. Another offensive masterpiece from the Warriors. Kevin Durant, spectacular once again. 38 points in Game 1. He comes back with 33 in Game 2. Stan Verrett here along with Tim Legler and Michael Wilbon. So Durant and Curry have been consistent the first 2 games, and then Klay Thompson shows up for the Warriors and creates even more problems for them.
I mean, this is a guy that, you watch him. We all seen what we've seen out of Klay Thompson in his career. So it's mystifying to watch him struggle like this shooting the basketball. Hasn't really had those breakout moments. You're talking about a guy that's had a 37-point quarter and a 60-point game on 11 dribbles. He just hasn't been able to find his rhythm. And I talked about some lucky bounces, some good fortune. This is one of those situations. When you get 2 shots on the same possession as a shooter, that is a gift. He knocks down a 15-footer, and then again, a little bit of good fortune here. This could have gone either way. If that's an offensive foul, hey, maybe that changes his first quarter. Instead, it's a 3-point play, and now he's really feeling good. Runs to the open spot. Great job by Ian Clark, understanding how important it is to get that guy going. So, I said before the game, if you're Tyronn Lue, the one thing that you had sort of going for you is that this guy hasn't gotten going, and maybe now if we can clamp down on Durant and Curry, maybe Klay continues to struggle. Well, he answered that. Very active early in the game. He got involved, and then you still are dealing with those other 2 guys.
Tim, this is what you did for a living. So I want to bounce this off you talking to Klay Thompson post-game. You think as well as he played defensively, and everybody talked about it. Klay's playing great. He's playing great. His shot just not falling. Klay said, I was feeling terrible about the way I was shooting. I am still a shooter. This is what I do for a living. He was getting all these text messages trying to pump him up, and he wasn't feeling it. And he wanted to get out of 3 for 16. He was so tired of it. And I guess that's universal with shooters, isn't it? That's the way you expected Klay Thompson to feel about this, his candor?
No question. The thing I've loved about him, though, is, and I've been watching him very carefully to see, is there any change in his demeanor or his body language or anything? No. The defense is always going to be there.
Yep.
He's staying positive and upbeat. But I know what's going on internally. When you are a shooter and you're not making shots, it's very difficult to get in that car after the game and feel as good as you want to feel, because ultimately that's what you do and that's what sets you apart. And he hasn't been doing it at a high level, but tonight very efficient.
Steph Curry with his first career playoff triple-double. Old hat for LeBron James. He had one as well. His 8th of his career, tying Magic Johnson for the most all time. First time in a long time, only second time in history, 2 players with triple-doubles in the same game. And there was a moment where LeBron James was on Steph Curry, really got this crowd going, really got Curry going, and it was maybe the signature moment of this game.
I mean, where he turned him around and kept his dribble going like Curly Neal. I mean, this is like when Steph Curry's hearing the sweet Georgia Brown music, and to finish LeBron like that.
Most guys, Mike, would never keep their dribble this long against a guy like LeBron. I mean, LeBron he's really expending some energy there, and he cut you off twice. Most guys are going to say, all right, he's kind of locked in right now. I better pass this. but he kept it. You saw he got him off balance twice on the same possession. And I think Curry sensed once he finally turned the corner, he gets to the rim, he knows what that's going to do if that ball goes in, because you could hear the gasp a little bit in the arena as he was keeping his dribbles. Like, is he going to finish this play?
And you know LeBron James wanted to block that shot.
No, he smacked the backboard as hard as he could. He missed it by this much.
Was he tired, Tim, by then? Third quarter, he expended so much energy going to the basket so hard in the first half. I just wondered if he was a little gassed and Steph could sense that.
Yeah, his closing speed there at the end of that play, you could see he just couldn't quite make up the ground. We're used to seeing LeBron make up. So I think, yeah, probably on that possession in particular, but you saw what that did to this building. Timeout for the Cavs on top of it, and your celebration started.
All right, so 41-point margin of victory in these two games combined. Last year was 48, but Cleveland came back to win the series. Is this series over, though, this year?
I'm not going to say that because I think Cleveland goes home, and they got a chance to make it a series, Mike. If they get Game 3, we're having a different conversation.
If LeBron James is as great as we all think he is, the notion of him being swept just because it's 2-0, I'm not buying that.
Okay.
He's got to find a way to rally his guys, even if it means bullying them. This is what the great players do. Whether you talk, I don't care what the sport is, whether you're talking about Tom Brady or Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan, whomever. He has got to press those guys into another level of play up. And I think he can do that.
LeBron James didn't come to the podium after Game 2. He stayed in the locker room. So maybe he's already delivering the message, and he's delivering it so forcefully he didn't even want to leave the locker room. So we'll see what happens. Game 3 coming up Wednesday from Cleveland. So far, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and the Warriors rolling. 14 in a row for them this postseason. That's never been done before in NBA Finals history. We'll see if they can keep it going in Cleveland. Game 3 Wednesday on ABC. Let's send it back to you.
Well, hello, John and John back here in Connecticut. It's time to talk about baseball.
The Astros are mauling people. What else is there to say?
Best in baseball.
That's what you need to know, and now we'll show it to you. 9 straight wins. Now, George Springer is not sort of your single steal a base kind of leadoff guy. In the last 8 games, raking. 459, 5 homers, 10 RBIs, and add another one on there.
Husky pride.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding? He's a bopper. All about the con. 6th leadoff homer this season. 3rd inning, Astros up 3-0. This time, Carlos Correa at the dish. Don't want to make a mistake to him. Gee, worked the count. Got a lot of the plate. That, too, is long. Oh, look at the fanboy out there making the catch, huh? Whoa, there's that one. Correa, 4th homer in his last 6 games.
Basket catch.
Astros leading 4-zip. Touch them all. It's 5-0 when here comes George the Animal again. And I'm sensing another Springer dinger.
Right down the middle.
3rd multi-homer game this season. Tied for the most in Major League Baseball.
That's going to dilly bar.
It's 6-0. And then in the 9th, the rains came. Biblical, pouring, gusting winds. Shin Soo Choo at the dish. 2 outs. They're like, you know, they don't want to bring the tarp out. They don't want to lay this thing. Somebody make an out and we'll get out of here. There you go. Taps it to Luke Gregerson. Look at that.
Jeez.
Take cover and find the post-game spread. Astros players, off we go. Woohoo! We get to eat. Food's free. 41-16. They've won 10 in a row.